Good day, folks. This is Norm from the Board Game Museum, and today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you the game Chu-Han. Now, Chu-Han is a game that is based on two dynasties, and this is a trick-taking game, and the object of the game is you're going to be trying to be the first player to score 31 points. So let's check it out. So Chu-Han is a trick-taking game, and the object of the game is you're going to try to become the first player to reach 30 points. Now, this is going to be the distribution of the cards as far as their rank. You're going to have 9 rank 1 cards, 8 rank 2 cards, and it's going to go in that type of a sequence up to the 9 where you're only going to have 1 rank 9 card. And that's going to be significant in the game, and I'll talk about that in my final thoughts. Now, the cards that you're going to be receiving are going to be numbered 0 through 9, and some of these cards are going to have abilities, specifically the 3 cards and also the 6 cards. The 2 cards will also have an ability to where you'll be able to play 6 of them for 6 victory points, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But anyway, the main thing you're going to be doing with this game, someone's going to go ahead and lead, and let's say someone decides they're going to go ahead and play 2 1s. So now the next player is going to have to play 2 of a higher ranked number. He might end up playing 2 6s. And then the next player would have to go ahead and play something greater than the 2 6s. Now, this is the basic way that the game is going to be played. Now, there are going to be cards that you will be able to play separately from the cards over here in the middle in order to do a variety of things. So, for example, let's say I had 2 1s here that was led, and I was the second player. There are 3 different types of cards that are going to have these text on them. Number 1 is going to be a regular one. This one will simply say respond with an equal rank set. So as the person who is responding to this, I could go ahead and play this separately, and then I could go ahead and play 2 1s like so. Now, there are also certain cards that are going to say lead. Now, whoever is leading, the ones that are going to be playing first, they will be able to play a lead card like this. So if I was player 1, I could play this, which says look at the top 4 cards. Now, right over here, these are going to be cards that you're going to be able to draw if you want to when you take a writ. And I'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But this card specifically would allow him to look at these top 4 cards and see if there's something he might want to end up getting. Now, there are also cards that are called react cards. And these are cards that you can play to counteract the power card that has already been played. So this one says cancel a power. I could go ahead and play that, and then that would go ahead and cancel out this person's ability to look at the 4 cards. So here is a list of all of the cards that have these specific powers and what they do. Now over here, these are event cards, and these are optional. If you decide to play with them, you'll just simply flip it over, and you're going to go ahead and just see what it does. This one says ignore the 5 victory point maximum limit when scoring. So basically this is going to be unlimited scoring, so you'll go ahead and put this over here like so. Okay, now on your turn, you're going to have a couple of options. Number 1, you can go ahead and play a lead card, which would be something like this. Look at any 4 cards. Another option you have is you can do what's called taking a writ. Now, you might want to take a writ if you don't have cards that you need, and when you take a writ, you're going to be able to go ahead and draw 2 cards and place them into your hand. The caveat with this is that this can count against you if you don't end up winning the hand. The lead player will go ahead and do his play, so let's say he lays down 3 3s. Now, the opponent is also going to have a couple of things that he can do. If he wants, he can also take a writ. Let's just say he decides to do that, and he'll draw these top 2 cards here. Now, the opponent may also be able to play a power card so long as it's not a lead. This one can be played as a wild in a set or a rank 0. So let's say he decides he's going to play that, and he goes ahead and he plays 2 5s on top of that, and then it goes back to the next player. Now, eventually what's going to happen is one of the players is going to go ahead and pass. Now, whenever that happens, you're going to go ahead and clear all the cards out. Whoever passes, they're going to go ahead and give up the lead, and then the next player will go ahead and lead with another set of cards. Again, it could be 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, or whatever. Now, when somebody ends up running out of cards and they've played them all, what you're going to do is the opponent is going to count up how many cards he has left in his hand up to 5. So let's say my opponent happened to have 6 cards left in his hand. I would go ahead and score 5 points for that, and for any writs that he has. So anyway, basically what's going to happen is you're just going to continue to play back and forth. When you run out of cards, you'll reshuffle, redeal, and you'll draw another one of these cards. And then when somebody reaches 30 points, that will be the end of the game. Now, Chu-Han is a unique trick-taking game because it is way deeper than it looks. You'll remember I had talked about the different card distribution that was in the beginning. Well, this becomes very important because a lot of what this game is going to be is having to figure out what cards you're going to use when. For example, if you have 2 8s, for example, then you're going to know that your opponent doesn't have any 8s. Also, if you have like 5 1s, you can kind of surmise that they're going to have at most 4 of those cards. So the card distribution is going to be important, because this is going to help you determine how many cards you want to lay down and lead with if you do lead. And then you're also going to have to calculate the defense, because there's going to be certain cards that are going to be reaction cards, and you may want to save those because you may not be able to meet the requirements of the response. Now also, there is an etiquette section in the game where it says if someone asks how many cards you have to tell them. You also are allowed to count the cards in the discard pile and things like that. So a big part of this game is going to be dealing with card counting, and that is really where a lot of the meat of the game is going to be, is in that card counting. Because if you just play the game regular, like, okay, I'm going to lay down 5 1s, it's going to be a very one-sided game. So this game really comes down to the deeper part of it, which is going to be the card counting, and also looking at the powers that you have. Of course, you also are going to have an opportunity to get those writs as well, so you can get some more of those cards. But it's a unique experience. This is not just a typical trick taker that would be for people who aren't into advanced trick taking games. This is more for people who like depth and who like strategy. And so there's also a campaign mode that you can play as well. And then you also have those event cards that you can use as well if you want to. So that's going to add more to the game as well. So I think it's a unique game. I think it's a good game. That's my review of Chu-Han. We'll see you. Keep on gaming.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and like.
And comment. And
Click and
share.
share.
And have fun. Have a lot of fun. That's what you gotta do.